got a good question for you to end us off. Let's hope I can remember it. But what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Meeting the Key. Yes. We've had some action, and it's been quick, hot, and heavy. That's how the action has been so far. We have a sweep, and then we have he's not gonna like me when I say this, but we have the first ever 3-0 comeback. Just on the cusp. Just on the cusp. It's coming. It is coming. Don't let them win one, but welcome back. We're here. Welcome back to another episode of Me and the Key. We're here to review the the conference finals, The conference finals. We got some action. We got a sweep. We got something going into 5 games. Let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. So, without further ado, let's start the show. Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Meeting the Key. Yes, we are back to review the action that has taken place in the conference finals. And boy, when I tell you it's been quick and fast, holy moly. It's been quick and fast. So, we got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. Come on now. But as always, to help me break down the action, one of my best friends, his team, clinging on for dear life. One of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, how you doing? How you doing?
Not so good, but at the end of the day, we'll just have to see what happens. But it's looking like it's going to be a different finals this year. That's for sure.
Man, oh man! If you started the season and if you would have told me that the possible 2 teams to make the finals were going to make the finals, yeah, you definitely have a great dealer, because we would not have believed you whatsoever. We're going to get in the action, but first, I need to turn off my god dang air conditioning, so hopefully the background noise is not there. 1 second, un momento. Enjoy the Lower Merion Kobe Bryant jersey, folks. Shout out KB, number 8, number 12, number 24. I despised you with a passion during your career. Loved you with all of my heart after your career. R.I.P. Mr. Kobe Bryant. So let's get back into it. Let's just jump into it. We don't even need to waste any time. Let's talk about the series that is over, that is kaput, that is no more. That was a nice, clean sweep. Yes, we had the Los Angeles Lakers do everything they could possibly do to extend the series, taking on the Denver Nuggets. Yes, the Denver Nuggets were able to sweep the Los Angeles Lakers 4 straight games. If you're a basketball fan, 4 just great games. Just 4 brilliant games. Jokic, Magic Johnson tweeted it today. Jokic is doing, what Michael, what Steph, what Magic, what Larry, what all these guys who actually, what LeBron, what all these guys who actually changed the game of basketball, Jokic is doing that. Jamal Murray coming back off of his torn ACL, off of whatever his other injury was that kept him out for the entire year. If it was his ACL, it kept him out for 2 years, then it was his ACL. I thought it was another injury. It may be. But Jamal Murray, coming through when you need him the most, going off, absolutely going off. And then you just look at that roster as a whole. You know, we're not going to focus on the Lakers because they got swept. We're not ESPN. We don't cater to what LeBron James wants. We talk about the teams that are good. We talk about the teams that deserve to be talked about. So let's talk about the Denver Nuggets. That roster. Man, oh man, you look at that roster up and down. That is a complete roster, folks. You got Jokic, you got Murray, you got Gordon, you got MPJ, you got Michael Porter Jr., you got KCP, you got Bruce Brown, and everything in between. That is a complete roster. The Denver Nuggets doing something that they have never been able to do, which is reach the NBA Finals. Brandon, your thoughts on the Denver Nuggets, that series, what you saw, what you're taking away, what you expect going into the finals. Give me your thoughts on the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, they're a very, good team, and they proved me wrong. I definitely didn't think they were going to go to the finals this year. I think that they kind of shut up the naysayers, especially myself. I was just never convinced because they'd never fully gotten to that process, and I've always seen them do well in the playoffs. But, obviously they've been hindered with some injuries. Last year Jamal Murray was out, MPJ was out, so they didn't really have a fighting chance when you don't have, two of your top three players in there. So, give them credit. I mean, I thought kind of Aaron Gordon kind of has revitalized his career a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. He's accepted his role, and he's doing really well for them. And Bruce Brown was really a pest on the Brooklyn Nets, and he's come. I thought he was a good player last year, so that was a good pickup for them. And then obviously Kentavious Caldwell-Pope has that championship pedigree.
Yep, true.
He did win a title, and so he's been through the process, so that's helpful. And Jeff Green, I've always liked Jeff Green. I mean, Jeff Green was a Boston Celtic for a few years, and he was one of the only bright spots in the beginning of the at the end of the Big Three era. So I really have always liked Jeff Green.
That's true. That's a good point.
He did have open heart surgery, so that's one of the things where it's like, wow, he came back and he balled out. A lot of times athletes do that. They don't. I
forgot that the young Jeff Green was with the Celtics Big Three. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So he was. I've always liked Jeff, and so credit to him for I think he's 36 years old and he's been playing really well. I mean, he's just a really seasoned vet. Maybe
he's played in all 15 games, all 15 playoff games. They've used him.
Done really well. So, and then obviously, saving the best for last. Jokic is, he's just a dominant player, and and it's just kind of crazy. You're like, how does this guy do it? He's so unathletic, but he's just he's got a high IQ, and he knows how to play the game, and he knows how to play it the right way. So credit to him. There was a reason why he was. I mean, he's proving it. Like I know a lot of people had question marks about back-to-back MVP. He's kind of a stat stuffer, but now he's talking the talk, right?
Yeah,
like he's
true.
He's actually proving why, slowly but surely proving why he was a back-to-back MVP. So I think that the case has been closed as far as who's the better player between Jokic and Embiid.
Yep.
Embiid kind of fell flat on his face, and Jokic has done nothing but surpass my expectations. And then Jamal Murray, just a great second option on the team to have. I mean, he is that person who's going to attack when Jokic is really getting double teamed and they're really focusing their defense. Jamal Murray's been coming through, and that's what you need. So impressive. Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. Like Jake outlined, this is the first time they've ever made it to the NBA Finals. So credit to them, the organization, Mike Malone, and everybody for that. Just all the fans, everybody that supports them. It's been a long time coming. This was a rematch from the bubble, and it is extremely hard to sweep a team.
Yep.
Especially hard to sweep a team that has a person as much playoff experience as LeBron James. Bubble revenge. That's all I have to say.
True.
I mean, they were able to just
True.
really, really, and it was a good series. I mean, all these games were pretty close.
Yes.
And so
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, the 4-0 is a little bit deceiving because, I mean, you would think it was just a slaughtering, right? But the series was actually a lot better.
Yeah. True.
Than the scoreboard or than the schedule would show.
Yeah, well, just the record of the series would show. Yes, I agree.
So yeah, congratulations to them, and we'll have to see. I know LeBron kind of announced at the end that he was unsure, but it's like we know Guy needs a farewell tour.
Yeah.
Not going anywhere. His son's going to play for USC, so he's going to be with the Lakers at least one more year, and then he's already mentioned that he wants to play with Bronny. So I assume he's going to play at minimum 2 more years, if not 3. But I don't see him playing more than 3 just because he's going to be 39. But for him to say that, it's just so dramatic. It's just so narcissistic. It's just so, let me get some attention.
True.
But it's also, he's being very emotional. It's like you just lost. You got swept.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if you saw today, but he tweeted, I think he's come to peace with possibly not playing with Bronny. He did come out, or it was tweeted today. I don't know if the comment was made today, but it was tweeted today that, that is a goal of his, but if that's not a goal of Bronny's, then he is completely okay with that. So there's not much more for 38-year-old LeBron James to do in the NBA. The man, whether you love him, you hate him, everything in between, he's done it all. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. What's hilarious is the odds and the odds makers and the tweet makers thinks that he's actually going to go to the Warriors. That's hilarious. He's not going to go to the Warriors. If anything, he should go back to the Eastern Conference because Eastern Conference, 8 straight finals. Western Conference, a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse finals that nobody thinks is legitimate other than Lakers fans. So go back to the East. Go back to the East. You should have never have left. 8 straight finals. What are you doing? To 1 in a bubble?
Yeah, the East.
You lost. That's the thing. Since he's gone to the West.
If I was LeBron James, I have 2 very good options. I could go to Milwaukee or I could go to Boston. I'm probably going to win a title.
I couldn't see him on any of those teams. But that would be very interesting.
I'm probably going to win a title on either one, though, because I have superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo and I have superstar Jason Tatum. So I'm saying I'm probably going to win because I can be that missing piece. I can be that facilitator. I can be that person that just gives you that slight edge. That's how good I am still.
True.
I mean, but he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. He could have easily went to Denver. He could have easily went to Phoenix.
Nope.
LeBron James had an opportunity when Kevin Durant went to the Golden State Warriors to try to even things out a little bit. He could have went to the Houston Rockets and played with James Harden and Chris Paul in their prime. He could have went to Denver and played with Jokic and Jamal Murray. He could have went to Portland.
Well, it's not even that. He got his own rosters in Cleveland. He was the GM. He was led GM.
He decided though to take the easy way. He decided to take the easy way. I'm going to keep these rosters. I'm going to stay on this team, and I'm going to try. And I'm not going to try to compete with the Warriors.
Fair.
I'm not going to try to compete with the Warriors.
That's fair.
With that roster, in your head, unless you're delusional, you are not going to beat the Warriors with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. You'd have to go somewhere else. He didn't do that. And what did it cost him? At least 1 championship.
You're right.
If he would have went to another team, if he would have went to the Spurs with Pop and with Kawhi and with Tony Parker, with any of these, they might have been able to do it. If he would have went to The Rockets, when they had Chris Paul, when they had James Harden, and they took you guys to 7, he could have been that missing piece. What I'm saying is he chose to stay put in the East because it was easier to get to the finals than have to try to go through the Warriors in the West, knowing that if I do that, though, I'm going to win the championship. So that's his choice, man. And at the end of the day, I will never understand the 2018 team where you decided to stay with all those retreads. You decided to stay an extra year, and you decided to go to the finals, and you decided to get swept. I will never understand that.
Yeah, that's true. It's a very true point. So, it's an interesting conversation. I definitely feel that him being on the Heat and him dominating so long in the East, he saw that was his easiest pathway to get to those finals. So you could definitely make that valid argument.
But it resulted in him so many.
I agree. I think in his eyes, that was his easiest way to get to the finals. That was his best chance to do what he needed to do. So I definitely agree. That's a great question. And that's definitely a deep psychological question that you'd have to ask LeBron, which I would love to hear his actual breakdown of why he decided, yes, Cleveland was his hometown. Yes, he wanted to win the quote-unquote first title in Cleveland. But you're right. That underlining of this is definitely the easier path. This is definitely the path traveled of less resistance. So that's a very interesting question. At the same time, the Nuggets step up to go to their first NBA Finals. Jokic is averaging a ridiculous 30 points, 29.9, 30 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and 1 block in this entire postseason out of 15 games. Jokic is balling out, and he just like Shaq said, just like Magic said, Jokic is changing the game for centers. We got guys like Joel, we got guys like Jokic, we got guys like Wembanyama. Get used to the name. You're going to see a lot of him. We got guys like Chet Holmgren, who you're going to see next year. We got these tall guys who can just absolutely ball out, and they're basically like your 2K's My Player wet dream. Like everything you want your 2K or your 2K My Player to be, that is these guys. So we may be stepping into a new era. That three-point era that Steph created, we may be stepping out of that, and we may be stepping into the athletic 1 through 5 big man who they can play any position. They can do whatever they want to do on the floor. That dominant big man. So we'll see. NBA within the next 5 years is going to be very, very, very interesting because, Warriors window is shutting. As much as myself and all the Warriors fans don't want to admit it, that window is coming to an end. So who is going to be? Who's going to be the team? Who is going to be that team to dominate the next 8 to 10 years? Could it be the Nuggets? Could it be Jimmy Butler in the Heat? Could it be Jason Tatum in the Celtics? We're going to find out. But let's move on to the next.
Jimmy Butler in the Heat. He's 34 years old. It's not going to be Jimmy Butler.
True.
He can get one. He's not getting more. So
I like it. Well, that just feeds us right into the next series that has not quite wrapped up yet. Day by day, minute by minute, game by game. That's all the Celtics need to worry about. They don't need to worry about Game 7. They need to worry about Game 5. They need to worry about Game 6. Then they need to worry about Game 7. And just like Charles said, Celtics win tomorrow. Celtics win Game 6. That Game 6 is the Heat Game 7 because you let a team come back down 3-0 to 3-3. And yes, we're speaking fugazi. We're speaking what ifs. We're speaking nonsensical, non-reality. But at the same time, it is very, very, very possible. We got the Miami Heat taking on the Boston Celtics. Miami was up 3-0 until Game 4. The Celtics came through, won Game 4 in a very convincing fashion. They head home to Game 5 to hopefully extend the series to Game 6. We were not expecting 2 sweeps. We did not get 2 sweeps. I do not predict that we will get a gentleman's sweep. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown have been no shows in this series other than yesterday. You know, Jason Tatum finally was like, "Hey, hello, I'm still here. I'm still Jason Tatum." And that the team, this is what the Celtics need to understand. And they're not the Minnesota Vikings, but they have the same characteristics where they're only going to go as far as Jason Tatum leads them. The Boston Celtics are Jason Tatum's team. You want to believe they're Jaylen Brown's team? You want to believe Jaylen Brown's the greatest player on that team? You go right ahead. That team is Jason Tatum's team. That team goes and stops and moves forward, moves backwards at the pace of Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum has a good game. It opens up everything else for everybody. So it's going to come down to Jason Tatum. We said it in our last video about our last round. Superstar Jason Tatum showed up when it mattered most. Superstar Jason Tatum needs to show up now more than ever. You got two guys who are going to make $300 million each, $600 million combined. You're going to have $600 million spread out amongst two players next year. If it's not going to be Jason Tatum, then Jaylen Brown needs to step up and show you why he is worth that $300 million. Superstar Jason Tatum. Superstar Jaylen Brown. Superstar Marcus Smart. Superstar Al Horford. Superstar Malcolm Brogdon. They got to step up. They have got to step up. Your thoughts on the Heat Celtics series? And what do you think is going to come?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, it is Jason Tatum's team. And, obviously when he plays well, so does everybody else. So it's kind of crazy. I mean, for the first three games, Jason played okay. The first two, he had a miserable game 3. But it's just funny when it's an elimination game. This dude is on another level usually. Like when like it's a game 7 or like it's a game 6 and we're down 3-2 or something like that. This dude has never been swept. I mean, this is his, 6th postseason. He's had 5 other postseason. He's never been swept. Yeah. So, I'm just glad, that hasn't happened. And so, because the dude has heart. He doesn't care if he's down 3-1, 3-0, 3. He's gonna try. He's gonna try. And if he gets bounced, he gets bounced. But he's gonna go out swinging. And I mean, I don't know if you can recall a couple years back. It was the Celtics were in the first round against the Brooklyn Nets, and the Nets had us on the ropes 3-0. Jaylen Brown didn't even play. He was out the entire series. Jason Tatum put together like a 50-point game himself. I think he scored 50 points in a playing game. I think he scored, so I'm just saying this dude, he's always on another level when it comes to elimination and doing that stuff. He's just got to be consistent. First 3 games, the first 2 games were very competitive. We blew 2 leads. We probably should be up 3-1. It shouldn't be 3-1 the other way.
True.
Really
Eric Spoelstra has outcoached Joe Mazzulla majority of the series. Yes.
Just a really good performance by the Celtics yesterday. But Eric Spoelstra, give them credit, give Jimmy credit, give them credit with their blue collar effort. They were able to beat us 3 times in a row. And I was not anticipating that at all, but I did think yesterday, unfortunately, that it was going to be a sweep. And since it wasn't a sweep, I'm very relieved because I didn't want to see Jason and Jaylen go out like that. They just put together a really good second half. I mean, we were down 6 points at the half. We were down 9 in the middle of the third quarter. They just started hitting their shots. And when the Celtics when they can be above 40%, they can win every game they play if they can shoot above 40% from 3. So this same team that we've seen all season disappeared in those first 3 games, but they were back in game 4. So, it's going to be really tough. It's never happened. teams that are down 0-3 are 0 and 150 after the Lakers.
Yeah.
And it's never happened. But we know at some point it's going to happen. We know at some point records are meant to be broken.
Yep.
Things are meant to happen. It happened with the Boston Red Sox and the Yankees. That had never happened before.
True.
The Red Sox came back down 0-3 in 2004 to beat the Yankees, and I think they went on to win the World Series, right?
Yeah.
So
Fuck the Red Sox.
I'm just
Sorry,
saying.
my language.
I'm just saying they were able to do that, which was something that no one's been able to do.
Yeah.
Which
You're
you
right,
got to give
you're
them credit for that.
Yeah.
So the Celtics are the better team. They are the better team. And there's a reason why they're the second seed and the Heat are the eighth seed. And that is why I will say if anybody is able to do it, it would be the Celtics team because of the circumstances. Number one, the Celtics are clearly the better team when they play like they're supposed to. They're clearly the better team.
True.
Number two, they, who's better, Jason Tatum or Jimmy Butler when they're both on? I'm taking Jason Tatum when they're both on. I'm taking Jason Tatum.
Be a great one-on-one. Be a great one-on-one.
Jason Tatum's going to give you 50 points.
True.
Jimmy Butler might give you 35.
Jimmy's going to get you 50. Jimmy got you 54 last year. Remember, Jimmy ain't no slouch.
I'm just saying, who when they're on, I'm thinking Jason Tatum's a better player when they're on. When they're both on. If Jason Tatum is at the top of his game,
that's a great argument.
Jimmy's at the top of his game, I think I'm giving the slight edge to Jason.
If you're watching this video right now, please do us a favor. Comment down below who you think in a one-on-one matchup, Jason Tatum versus Jimmy Butler, who do you think would win? Because that's a phenomenal matchup. Phenomenal. That would be great to see. So I agree with you.
So yeah, I mean, it would be great. I mean, they're very close.
Yep.
But the next player, we have Jaylen Brown. They don't have anybody close to Jaylen Brown. So I'm saying like the talent is so much in our favor.
I agree. And then that's why you can't get swept, which they didn't do.
There's an opportunity for them to win Game 5 because of the circumstances.
I think they're winning Game 5.
The circumstances. The reason why I'm saying there's an opportunity for them to win Game 5.
Yep.
Most teams that go up 3-0 on another team are the team that have home court in that series, where they've won the first 2 games at home and then they beat their opponent on the road. And sometimes that opponent will have that moral victory where they'll win the 4th, but then they go right back to where they lost
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's opposite.
Close it out. So there's never been a team that has come back from 3-0, but there has been 15 teams that have come back from 3-1. It's not 3-0 anymore.
True.
It is now 3-1.
True.
If the Celtics can win Game 5, which you're saying you think they will, I think all of the pressure shifts to the Heat.
Oh yeah, that's what Charles Barkley was saying. Game 6 then becomes Game 7 for Miami. Yep.
And I think the Heat will win this series, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as they thought.
I agree.
I do think that they can handle the pressure. So I think that they can handle the pressure in their house. But what I will say is, I think personally that the Celtics are going to lose Game 5. I don't think it is going to go to Game 6. I don't think it's going to go to Game 6 because let me tell you this, Jake. If somehow we win Game 5 and we don't play well at home, we don't. We play extremely well on the road.
Exact reason why they're going to win. They lost 2 at home. Now there are 11-13 at home. You got to get one back. You got to get one back. Exactly. You got to get one back.
If they win Game 5, I will say this because I don't believe we're going to win tomorrow. I have faith in my team. I think we're going to come out. I think we have the opportunity to. But I'm saying as a basketball fan, taking my Celtics
fan hat off.
So
Yep.
I'm saying I don't think we win tomorrow. I think we lose. But if we do win tomorrow, I guarantee you this series is going 7. I guarantee you, because the Celtics love playing in Miami.
Yeah.
The Celtics won 3 out of 4 games in Miami last year.
True.
And they almost won 4 out of 4. Al Horford was on COVID protocol. Marcus Smart didn't play. Game 1, we were up 18 in the first half. We should have won game 1, which means that we should have won all 4 games in Miami.
True.
So my thing is, and we won 1 out of the 2 in Miami. I don't think we're going to lose game 6 if it goes to game 6. And if it goes to game 7, it's anybody's game. The Heat have won 3 in a row. The Celtics would have won 3 in a row. And I can't even believe we're talking about this right now. But the reason we're talking about this, we're going to go back to what my earlier statements were. The reason why we're talking about this is because the Celtics are, besides coaching, are built way better than the Heat right now. Those players that are hitting 50, 60%, Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, give them credit. Law of averages says they can't keep doing that. Law of averages says that it's not realistic for Kyle Lowry to continue shooting the way he is and Caleb Martin to continue shooting the way they are. Law of averages says that is not, and Law of averages also says the Celtics are due.
Yep.
So my thing is the Celtics, the reason why the Celtics have the opportunity to do this, and the reason why we're actually exploring this option in our brain now after they destroyed them in game 4, the reason is there's a huge talent disparity, number 1. Number 2, the Celtics have home court advantage. The Celtics have home court. I mean, they have 2 of the final 3 games at home. So all they have to do is handle business at home and win 1 more game on the road, which they play well on the road. So my thing is it's not out of the question. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But for the first time when a team's been down 3-0, I'm actually saying it's not out of the question.
Yeah, so some stats for those of you who are at home. Jimmy Butler through these playoffs is averaging 29.9, 30 points, just like Jokic. 7 rebounds, 5.6 assists. We'll round up. We'll go 6 assists. He's averaging 2.1 steals, which he's been a menace on defense. But he's also averaging 2.1 turnovers. On the flip side, you have Jason Tatum, who's averaging 28 points. He is leading the team in rebounds at 10.5 rebounds. We'll say he's averaging 11 rebounds. He's got 5 assists. He's got 1 steal, and he's got 1 block a game. So, and he's got also 2.8 turnovers per game. So let's call it 3. These guys are dueling. Now, let's not overshadow. I hated Boston more than anybody else on this planet before this. I still hate the Red Sox. I hate the Patriots. I hate the Bruins. But one thing that my good friend Brandon here has done is he has turned me into a Celtics fan. So, yes, we do praise the Celtics. I am rooting for the Celtics. He knows me. I have unwavering faith in this team. I will support his team until they lose. At the same time, though...
I got a bold take?
At the same time, though, I would like to shout out what the Miami Heat are doing. First play in A seed to ever get to where they're at right now. They have a chance to knock off not 1, but 2 number 1 seeds in the NBA playoffs, which I don't think has ever been done before. It may have, it may not have. It may have. As an A seed, I know for a fact it hasn't been done before. So Jimmy Butler looks like he is primed and ready for his moment. He's got a bunch of cast of characters who look like they are primed and ready for the moment. What's nice to see about these 3 teams, forget the Lakers. What's nice to see about these 3 teams is longevity. And what I mean by that is the team that they have around them, the team that Jokic has around him, the team that Jimmy has around him, the team that Jason has around him, they have been around each other for 5, 6 years now, growing, building. Jimmy, you're right. Jimmy, for those of people who want to say it, Jimmy has not been on the Heat for 5 or 6 years. You're right. But Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, those guys have been on the team for a while now. They have been able to grow, build chemistry. That team has been together. They've been through battles. They've been through wars. So the nice thing to see in this playoffs especially is longevity plays off. And you want to talk about coaches? Okay, Joe Mazzulla got kind of gifted a very good situation. Mike Malone has been the coach of Denver for 8 years. Eric Spoelstra, who's having basically his Stephen Curry 2021-2022 year right here, where he's showing that he doesn't need LeBron to be the greatest coach in the NBA. And I'll be honest, at this point, Eric Spoelstra is the best coach in the NBA. It's not even a question. So what the Miami Heat are able to do with what they got is very impressive. Keep in mind, this was the team that was losing to the Chicago Bulls before Jimmy Butler decided to go off and be playoff Jimmy. So the Miami Heat have been counted out every single step of the way. Every single step. So what they are doing is truly impressive. The fact that they were able to go up 3-0 on the Boston Celtics is very impressive. The team took the brunt of Game 3, and I'm talking about the Celtics. Joe Mazzulla took his brunt for Game 3. Joe Mazzulla is a young coach. Joe Mazzulla is not a defensive coach like Ime Udoka. So it's a give and take. It's a give and take, and what Joe Mazzulla does what he needs to do, and the Celtics need to do what they need to do. And they very well could easily come back. If any team can do it, I honestly believe it's the Celtic team. They're battle-tested. They're ready. We know they're ready. So I believe that we have plenty of games left to play. I believe it is going to go 7. I do believe that the Celtics are going to get one back on their home floor. I do believe that they are going to take it in Miami. And then law of averages. They're going to be 500. They're going to be 13-13 on their home floor. So you lose 2, you win 2. So it's the law of 2s, average of 2s. That's how it all works out. So Celtics, Heat, very, very, very exciting series. The games have been great. The Celtics have choke leads late. The Heat have come back. Playoff Jimmy, you poke the beast, you see what you get. We've got it all. We have literally got it all in these 4 games. So I cannot wait for Game 5. Game at a time, minute at a time, play at a time. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves for Game 6 and Game 7. Celtics got to handle business in Game 5, or there is going to be no Game 6. So Celtics got to handle business in Game 5. Heat got to handle business in Game 5. We're either going to have Nuggets, Heat, or the Celtics are going to pull one of the greatest comebacks in the history of NBA.
I will say this. This is what I will say. I think the Celtics are going to lose in 5. If the Celtics do come back and win this series, I don't see a chance in hell that we lose the finals.
I agree.
I just think that a team that comes back and reverse sweeps the other team, that it's just fate, man.
I agree.
It's fate.
I agree. So we got a lot of basketball to play.
And I know I'm getting ahead of myself. It's no discredit to the Nuggets.
Yep,
but
you're
I'm
fine.
just saying, like, if the team does that, the momentum is just ridiculous.
Yep. Game by game, play by play, day by day. That's how we're going to take it. I think the Celtics can do it. He thinks the Celtics can do it. Obviously, if the Heat do it, congratulations to the Heat. I have nothing against the Miami Heat. I have nothing against the Denver Nuggets. I'm just rooting for my friend's team here. So that's what we do here. We support our friends. And that will do it for this edition of Meeting the Key. Yes, we are wrapping up our conference finals. And we will be moving on to the finals very, very, very soon. But I will tell you this. If it does go to Game 7, you bet your sweet ass that we're dropping an episode right before that, baby, to get you primed and ready for some epic NBA action. Good luck to the Boston Celtics. Good luck to the Miami Heat. There's only one series left. There's only 2 teams left to decide who moves on to the finals to face the Nuggets. Nuggets handle business in 4. Heat, Celtics, 3-1 currently. My friend, any last words for the people?
Yeah, just hopefully they can get Game 5. You know, I will say this. It's going to be very interesting if the Celtics win Game 5. Game 6 will be extremely interesting. That's all I got to say. That'll be a must-watch TV for everybody because, you know, you're going to anticipate that the Heat win that Game 6 if the Celtics win Game 5. But
you never know.
Basketball.
You never know. You're right.
Play the game.
You're very right, my friend. That is why they play the game. And that will do it for this edition of Meet and the Key. We got some more basketball left. We got some more conference finals left. We got the Heat Celtics Game 5 tomorrow. Oh, I guess if you're watching this video, it's going to drop tomorrow. So it's going to be tonight. You can expect it. Watch it. Tune in. See what happens. You know, if it goes to Game 7, we're going to be right here to call it. Otherwise, we will see you for our finals edition. Good luck to the Boston Celtics. That is one of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan. I am Jacob Cutler, and together we make up the Sports Guys. And until our next episode, Brandon and Jake, we're out.